Honestly, I don't even know what I'm about to say right now. I'm just up here trying to figure it out like the rest of everybody, like the rest of independent artists that don't have a real platform for real. But we outside. A little nervous, being honest. Uh, I know y'all probably remember me from the podcast, Double Edge Podcast. I know you probably remember me from, maybe some freestyles I may have done here and there over the years. Some people that know me, they know me from some years ago when I was rapping a lot and dropping music. But now we in a different place. We're in a different place, man. Whew, boy. It's been 11 years. 11 years, yo. Since I dropped a real project, man. You know what I'm saying? That was back during the mixtape days where everything was just about doing mixtapes, stealing somebody else's beat and putting it out. You know what I'm saying? And hoping somebody will recognize you for your bars. A whole lot has changed since then, bro. A whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And y'all bear with me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little while. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm shaking off the dust when it comes to being in front of the camera, yo. But yo, being in front of the camera is so weird, bro. It's weird. It's weird when you in front of the camera by yourself, yo. Staring at the camera. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's super weird. It's not natural. It doesn't feel natural. You know what I'm saying? But we here. And we gonna make it do what it do. Stomach trying to cramp. But anyways, yo. So, I guess this is like a refresher. For real, a refresher, an introduction to something. You're like, yo, who is this nigga? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm Spence. You know what I mean? I don't care if you call me Spence. You know what I'm saying? But my artist name is D Faith, short for Dispenser of Faith. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, who is he? Who is that guy? Boy, I ain't even gonna tell you the whole long, super drawn out story. You know what I'm saying? But just put it. I'm gonna give you the short version. Let's see. VA. Born in a small town. I was actually born in Petersburg, Virginia. My parents are from small towns. My mom's from Emporia. My dad is from Brunswick County, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And they decided to move from a small town to the 757, which is known as the Hampton Roads area, when I was like 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my journey began of just being like, I would say, just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have country roots. You know what I'm saying? I guess like I'm a country boy at heart. You know what I mean? But moving to the 757 definitely like was a whole different experience. Growing up between Virginia Beach, between Norfolk, living in Chesapeake. And I've learned something from all of those places and been around many different types of people. So it kind of molded me in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, ended up going from, I would say, I always call it the Virginia Beach kid life. You know what I'm saying? Where I was in a nice, decent neighborhood. It was apartments, but it was nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, the middle class. You know what I'm saying? Like, couldn't really get a crib, like a house, but you know what I'm saying? We was good. You know what I'm saying? We could make that rent. You know what I'm saying? This was in the 90s. You know what I mean? So yeah. I know I keep saying to make a long story short, but boom. We go from Virginia Beach, being a Virginia Beach black kid, you know what I'm saying? My neighborhood, it was kind of mixed up. I would say like majority white, but it was different people there. You know what I'm saying? Like you had some black people, you had some people that was, they might have been from the Middle East, you know what I'm saying, overseas, you know what I'm saying. It was kind of a mixture of people, but I would say majority white, you know what I'm saying. I had a blast living out there. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. You know what I'm saying? As a kid coming from the country, coming out there, like, you know what I mean? I would just run around the neighborhood. Listen, I used to rollerblade. I used to ride my bike everywhere. Run around the neighborhood. The whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? Hide and go seek. All the kid games, bro. You know what I'm saying? Going to houses, playing video games, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, all the whole 90s experience. I had it. You know what I'm saying? I even was in Taekwondo class for a little bit, and that came in handy further down the line, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? But all that to say that, you know what I'm saying, like, went from growing up in that type of environment to moving to the hood. I moved out Norfolk, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Northview. Y'all know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And that was a whole different a whole different way of life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got introduced, you know what I'm saying, back to my culture, you know what I'm saying? I went from having crushes, you know what I'm saying, on them little white girls, you know what I'm saying, to when I seen Keisha. When I seen Keisha, you know what I'm saying, when I got to the hood, I was like, oh. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a bunch of life lessons, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of life lessons, but I definitely got opened up, you know what I'm saying, to the streets in a way, and, you know what I'm saying, got involved in, just certain things, just being a kid in the hood, for real, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing too crazy, you know what I mean? But fast forward, you know what I'm saying, ended up moving back to Emporia, you know what I'm saying, my mom's hometown, and that's when things got a little shaky for me, you know what I'm saying? Ended up going from there, going from living in the hood, living in the country, thinking that things would probably be a lot different, but it's not. It's not. The country life is only different when you like way out in the country where it's like nobody else around, you know what I'm saying? Dakota somewhere. But other than that, it was just like moving to a country hood, for real. It's just a lot slower, a lot more time on your hands to get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? And it's hoods out there. It's always like, people be surprised in these small towns how these small towns be getting it rocking, but it be a lot going on, yo, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so eventually made my way to in the streets, man, trying to be tough, you know what I'm saying? I'm the only child, man. I ain't got no brothers, no sisters, or none of that. So when I'm in the crib, it's just me. It's literally nothing to do. So I'm trying to be outside. You know what I'm saying? My parents, they working down here. I'm back in Emporia, you know what I'm saying? So I'm hanging with my family, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, the normal things, you know what I'm saying? You get, you hang around long enough, you start to know who's who, what's what, and you move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, this was supposed to be a really short story, but I'm just talking, you know what I'm saying? Y'all getting to know me, I'm getting to know y'all, you know what I'm saying? Story time, I guess, because you gotta have some type of background if you're gonna be like, yo, who is this artist? Like, why do I want to listen to his music? For what? Like, what's the point? What do you got to say? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, long story short, that's really a short story turned long. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did what most black youth do run to the streets. You out there, you smoking, you hanging, you thugging, you getting into trouble. You know what I'm saying? You might be doing B&Es. You might be, you know what I'm saying? You might be robbing. You might be selling. You know what I'm saying? You always after the girls, after the females. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? The music that I'm listening to is really fueled by the street life, basically. You know what I'm saying? So you outside, and then when you put the headphones on, you know what I'm saying, it ain't doing nothing but, it's a cycle. It ain't doing nothing but putting gas on the fire. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like affirming everything you learning, like that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it needs to be. I will say that, like, I really I started listening to pop. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is just the influence music has, yo. Like, I'm a teenager at this point, and I'm listening to Tupac, who died in 1996. You know what I'm saying? And this is by the time I'm in Emporia, I'm like 15. You know what I'm saying? I'm 15, 16, listening to pop. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like, 2000 I would say probably about 2004, maybe 2003, probably around 2003, 2004. I'm listening to Pac heavy. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that I say, I mean, I was moved by a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? But Pac just hit different because it made me feel more. It opened my eyes to the struggle. You know what I'm saying? To the struggle of black people. You know what I'm saying? I remember, like, the things that Pac would talk about. It moved me in such a way. You know what I'm saying? Where it's certain things that I saw in the streets, and when it came to the government, it offended me. You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to my pops about it, and my pops, man. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the 60s and 70s, like, you know what I'm saying? So he looking like, yo, so you talking about the struggle, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, I will say, like, that really caused me to really see myself as a part of the people, you know what I'm saying? And to really connect with the people, to know that I ain't the only one struggling, you know what I'm saying? I ain't the only one going through it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was blessed and fortunate, you know what I'm saying, to have my mom and my dad in my household. They stayed together, you know what I'm saying? But things definitely got hard, you know what I'm saying? And I would say, like, from the moment that we relocated from Virginia Beach, you know what I'm saying, was, it wasn't my mom's choice. Like, my mom is a country girl, you know what I mean? She grew up in the country. My pop's a country boy, you know what I'm saying? My pop's side of town was a little more wilder, you know what I'm saying? My mom, there was no hood, nothing around, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't town, but around her, you know what I'm saying? She grew up a country girl, you know what I'm saying? So it was not her choice to move from our neighborhood in Virginia Beach to Norfolk in the hood where it's gunshots going off, you know what I'm saying? She was not feeling it. But, you know what I mean, that was the circumstances. Like, this was around the time in the 90s where, the middle class was really starting to be, like, prices was rising up, and people that were, like, kind of in that lower middle class range were kind of being forced down unless you were making making more money, you know what I'm saying? Because rent was getting high, you know what I mean? So, I went through a lot of situations where the lights was off, you know what I'm saying? Like, food was kind of scarce, you know what I'm saying? But my parents always made a way. They always put food on the table, you know what I'm saying? Always took care of me, you know what I mean? But it just got to the point where it's like, yo, I got old enough where it was like, yo, I need to go do something on my own, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, you know what I mean, there wasn't a lot of young men, like, examples that I saw around that I could connect with, you know what I'm saying? And all of the music was pointing me in the street direction, you know what I'm saying? yeah, so basically, you know what I'm saying, I ran in that direction, and um, it kind of got to the point where I had my mind made up that, you know, I really didn't believe that I'd make it past the age of 22, 25. I just felt hopeless. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I got kicked out of school. You know what I'm saying? Like, got kicked out of high school, went to night school, you know, messed around in night school, didn't really take it serious, and eventually just dropped out, you know what I'm saying? And I would say, like, the thing that kind of saved me for real, is the fact that my parents were working down here in the 757. When I ended up getting a job, I got a job down here with them. So it took me from having nothing to do, took me from being in the street, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, an opportunity presented itself, you know what I'm saying, for me to actually find out, like, you know, who the Lord was and stuff like that. That's a whole lot. I feel like I'm talking too much. I feel like I'm talking too much, bro. But it is what it is. You don't know me, so I gotta give you something. You know what I'm saying? How did we get here? How did I get here? You know what I'm saying? Being a Christian rapper that's Christian, all of the above. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, it's one of them situations where, like, you feel, you know, like, God exists, but you just don't know who he is. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was confused about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I was mad at God for real, because I was like, yo, why would you leave us to struggle like this on this earth? You know what I mean? And yeah, I just had, like, this, you know, this animosity toward God. You know what I mean? But whenever something got real, I would pray. I don't know what that was. Because I didn't grow up in church. My mom did. So maybe, you know what I mean, that just having that there, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, whenever things hit the fan, you know, it got real. Like, you know, I would always, like, drop to my knees and just be like, God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't know who I was talking to for real. I'm just like, Lord, like, please help me with this or whatever. So anyways, I'm working down here, and you know, I connect with a dude that I'm working with, and we both like 18, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure it out, you know, both you know, got street backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? So we both just chopping it up about how we gonna get this money. And it got to a point where, you know, he had met some people, and, you know, was basically like, yo, if we connect to this people, we can basically get whatever we need to make moves and get money for real. So I was like at this crossroads of my life, right, where I could go hard left or hard right. I wanted to go hard left because I didn't see, there was nothing to the right for me. I'm like, yo, I'm tired of seeing my mom struggle, my dad struggle. You know what I'm saying? We got cracks in the ceiling, like, you know what I'm saying? Rain putting buckets down, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, rats, you know what I'm saying? Like, no working toilet, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, it was like that, you know what I'm saying? So I was just at the point where I was like, you know, this is kind of the only way for real. So what ended up happening is my supervisor at the time, shout out Bobby Tate, Mr. Tate, man. I love you forever. You know what I'm saying? You know, we used to be working in this warehouse, me and my homie I was talking about, and we had a little radio, and, you know what I'm saying, music could be, you know, playing 103 jams, whatever. And we back there freestyling, messing around. We used to clean like engine blocks, like had like this wire brush that was like um, you know, powered electrically, and we just used to clean these engine blocks, clean the rust off, whatever. So we back there with the plastic glasses on, with the white overalls on, like the little thin joints you put on over your clothes, so you can make sure you know stay clean or whatever. So we back there messing around. We used to be back there like slap boxing and everything, you know what I'm saying, just playing around. We was the only two back there, you know what I'm saying. But Bobby Tate, man, my supervisor, came back there and he was like, y'all come with me. So we was like, all right. I'm like, man, I'm about to get fired. I was like, yo, I'm about to get fired, yo. So we walked to the back of the warehouse, yo. And he take off his glasses. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Brown skinned dude, waves, you know what I'm saying? Probably, he was probably like in his, you know, maybe like high 40s, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he take off his glasses and he looking at us and he's like, I'm taking off my supervisor glasses right now. I don't want to talk to y'all. So we was just like, all right. And he was like, I see you back here. You know, I see you back here, you know, like rapping and stuff like that. And he was like, you know, I want to let y'all know, like, this ain't the end for y'all. Like, this is not the end for y'all. Like, you know what y'all doing, right? Like rapping and stuff, like y'all can do that. Y'all can do that for God. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know, he was just telling us, man, like basically it's like, yo, we had a future, like, you know, we had an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to that it was more to life than just living and working at that warehouse, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. You know what I'm saying? He tell us that, and we go back to work. So my homeboy talking to me, he like, yo, what you think about what he said? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking at him. My mind was made up, yo. I was like, man, I hear him, but I'm trying to get this money, though. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It proceeded to go down to the other way, you know what I mean? And little did I know that was just like God's first attempt in trying to get me, you know what I'm saying? Like that God was after me, like, and God is real, you know what I'm saying? Fast forward, it's another dude that work at that warehouse. Shout out to my homie Greg, you know what I'm saying? I love you for life, man. You know what I'm saying? The first person to officially share the gospel with me, yo. So I'm in the warehouse. Greg, he used to drive the forklift, so he always rolling past, unloading trucks, loading trucks. So he roll up on me. He got the do-rag with the cape out. You know what I mean? So he pull up on me, and he used to always just ask me questions and talk to me about God, yo. And I'm like, yo, why this dude always coming up on me, talking to me about like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just over here like, why me? You know what I mean? Like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? He was cool. I thought he was a little corny, but he was cool. You know what I'm saying? So we would have these like random conversations, and he basically just came to me, and you know, the things he would tell me, you know, it made sense. Like, you know, before that, I haven't really met nobody that could really answer my questions like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of them type of people that, yo, I will debate you to the floor. I'm still like that a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll debate you to the floor. Especially if you're trying to tell me something that I don't believe, or I don't trust, or whatever. So every time we had a conversation, he was telling me things, and it was like, yo, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So one day he just hit me with it. He was like, boom, you want to know how to be saved? And I was just like, all right. Okay. He was like, all right, cool. Yo, I swear it was like a 10-minute break. You know what I'm saying? We only get 10-minute breaks. So we go outside of the warehouse. He run to his car. He grabbed his Bible. And he showed me the part in the Bible that was like, yo, if you confess that Jesus is Lord and believe he rose on the third day, that you'll be saved. You believe in your heart, you'll be saved. You know what I'm saying? I'm misquoting that. I know all the Christians gonna look at me like, bruh. But yeah, and I'm looking at it, and he was like, yeah, so you ready to make that move? And I'm like, nah. My first thought was like, yo, church. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to church, bro. Like, my mind when it came to church and sitting in church was just like, you know, these country churches where the preacher is up there just and it made no sense. You know what I'm saying? I went to some other churches as a kid. My mom drugged me to, but you know, I'm like, man, I can't imagine, like, you know what I'm saying, people seeing me out from, you know, where I'm from, and they just like, yo, he in church, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So a few weeks later, I ended up going back to my hometown in Emporia, and one of my homeboys I went to school with, he was back from college. So I'm chilling with him, my cousin Tiffany, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna get you right today. So that whole day, like, or that whole morning, he's like, you know, buying me drinks, beers, and all of that. We smoking, chilling. It was a nice day. You know what I'm saying? A parade was happening in town, so we just riding around, getting lit. You know what I'm saying? But I was supposed to get up with my lady at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I was supposed to get up with her, like, I guess sometime around like midday or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm chilling with the homies, you know what I'm saying? We out there getting ripped. You know what I mean? So, and I'm wilding, like I'm drinking to the point where I'm doing like stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying? That whole day. So she ends up calling me. We get into an argument. I like snap on her, hang up the phone. And I was so drunk that I forgot about it. I forgot that I actually like snapped on this woman. You know what I'm saying? So I get dropped off at the crib, hop in my mom's what she have, yo? She had a Dodge. It wasn't a Saturn, but it was a Dodge, a blue Dodge. I hop in the whip, and I'm about to go pull up on, you know what I'm saying, pull up on shorty, man, because I completely forgot that I snapped on her. So I'm riding out there, you know, and I call her to let her know I'm on the way, you know what I'm saying, and she was like, what? I was like, yo, I'm on the way. She was like, you don't remember what you said to me? And boom, a whole argument break out. So I lost my mind. When I say I lost my mind, yo, like, I've never been like this enraged before in my entire life. Like, I'm really a calm person, you know what I'm saying? I don't really get mad unless I'm like really, really provoked like that, you know what I'm saying? Or in one of those like stressful, toxic relationships, then I would snap, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hadn't snapped like this. So I snapped. I'm driving on this backcountry road, Reedy Creek. If you from out there, then you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Reedy Creek, and I got a little, you know what I'm saying, a little burner on me at the time. So I start letting off out the window. I lost it. I'm in full crash out mode. And, you know, I just had this thought. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I will myself. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nobody care about me anyway, for real. You know what I'm saying? Even though that was a lie, because I had loving parents, you know what I'm saying? But I felt disconnected, you know what I'm saying? I felt like, you know, at the time, I felt like my pops didn't like me, you know what I'm saying? You ever seen that? James Earl Jones. Y'all remember when his son was like, why you don't like me? Like you? I put food on your I put food on your stomach. You got clothes on your back. I don't got to like you. You mine. You my responsibility. Yeah, I ain't had that conversation with my dad, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I felt. I don't know what it is about young teenagers, and when they go through that with their pops, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't think he liked me at the time, you know what I'm saying? But we have been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? And there wasn't really anybody like to talk to about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, relocating from a small town, going to Virginia Beach, it was dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made a lot of friends, like, you know, I'm the only child, you know what I'm saying? I had this big personality. It was easy for me to make friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, grown people knew who I was, you know what I mean? And then we moved, you know what I'm saying, to the hood, you know what I mean? And it was different, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it was just different, man. Like, it took me a second to actually make friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we first moved out there, it was a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't really go outside to like play for real until, you know what I mean? It was one of them days I got on my mom's nerves, and she was like, go outside, you know what I mean? So I'm just outside playing on the porch, and then, you know what I'm saying, you end up meeting, you see somebody, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how that happened. And before you know it, that's what they say that's what they mean when they say jumped off the porch, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, to go back, I'm on the road, driving, I'm out the car, out the whip, you know what I'm saying? I lost my mind, you know what I mean? And I had this thought that I would myself. So I stump on the gas, I start swerving, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, you know what? F it. I jerked the wheel as hard as I could, and the car flipped. And I'm in mid-air, yo. I'm in mid-air, and I'm telling you, it feel like time stopped. Like, the car is like upside down in mid-air, and my first thought was, I don't want to die. That's my first thought. Clear as day. I will never, ever forget that moment. And then the car hits the ground, boom, upside down. The front window shatters out, glass, rocks, all that stuff flying in my face. And the car ends up sliding. It's like this tree. It's like, if you're familiar with Reedy Creek Road, you know it's trees along the side of the road everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But where the car ended up sliding into, you know what I mean, there was no trees, you know what I mean? So I'm still drunk. I get out the car. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like delirious, like side of my head bleeding, like I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And yeah, it was a dramatic scene, you know what I'm saying? It was a dramatic scene. Ambulance came out there, police came out there, and like, I'm bugging, y'all. When I say I'm bugging, I'm still crashing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting mad at the police because he asking me questions, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, why you asking me all these questions? Like, I'm the victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, bro, why you asking me these questions like I did something wrong, man? It's just me out here, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm like flipping out. The ambulance is there. They asking me to sign some papers so I can get in the ambulance so they can take me to the hospital. I'm like, no, I'm not signing nothing. I'm just bugging out, yo. And the young lady I was talking to at the time, her mom worked at a jail, so she knew the police officer. He was a state trooper too, white dude. You know what I'm saying? It was about to be over for me, yo. I was drunk. I had the blicky on me. I'm looking for it though. I don't know where it's at. It's in the car. The car is upside down. So I'm back at the car trying to find it because before the police get out there, I can't find it for nothing. You know what I mean? So anyways, you know, I started like calming down. Like, I started feeling like, you know, like I said, the side of my head was bleeding a little bit. So I think I had a minor concussion. So I was like, yeah, let me sit down because I'm starting to feel woozy. You know what I mean? They convinced me to go ahead and sign the paper, you know what I'm saying? And then my mom pulls up, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, My mom pulls up. I'm in the ambulance, man. She's shaking, bro. That is the worst thought to this day. Like I feel so bad about, man. I never want to put my mother through anything like that ever again, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many it's so many young men out here, yo. I feel like if y'all could see the pain that your mom went through after you crashed out and you lost your life, I feel like you would that would be it for you to make a different choice. For real, for real. Like it's nothing more crushing than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just apologizing to her. I'm like, I'm sorry about the car. Like, you know what I'm saying? I messed up. You know what I mean? And she like shaking. She don't care nothing about that car. All she want to know is her son is safe. You know what I'm saying? Ah, man, that's a real one. That's a real one. Hopefully I'm still recording. It looks like it. All right, bet. But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that went down. I'm still alive. And mind you, I forgot to tell y'all that before even the crash, in the midst of dude at the warehouse I'm working with that came and shared the gospel with me, asking me how do I want to be, do I want to know how to be saved and all of that. I'm seeing random people, bro, at random places, and they keep telling me about Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. Like, what is going on? It got to the point where I could tell, like, I could see it on people, yo. Like, if, I would be somewhere and I look and I see a dude over there and I'd be like, excuse me, sir. I'd be like, what you do? And he'd be like, oh, I'm a pastor. Yeah, Jesus. Like, it got to that point, you know what I'm saying? So God was obviously letting me know that he was real, you know what I'm saying? And he was trying to give me a chance to come to him, you know what I mean? And I was at a place where I really wasn't trying to listen. And to the point where I crashed out. So if I would have myself that day and, would have became a story in the paper, you know what I'm saying? Spencer got into a car accident alone on a back road, Reedy Creek Road, lost his life. You know what I'm saying? God would have had, like, I would have been like, without excuse. You know what I'm saying? Standing before the Lord, I wouldn't have had no excuse. I rejected Christ. I rejected him. And there wasn't no second chance after that. You know what I'm saying? But, the fact that I lived and God gave me a chance after that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, maybe God is trying to get my attention. Maybe God is real. You know what I'm saying? And that same dude that I ended up going to his, that ended up telling me about, how to be saved, whatnot. I went to his church and I didn't even know what to expect, yo. I'm just in there, like, and I look crazy. Like, I got like I don't know if I had a splint on my arm. You know what I'm saying? I got the blood, dried blood, still on the side of my head. I got like half of my braid. Like, I don't even know. I might have taken all my braids out. I just had my hair pulled back. Like, I look crazy, man. I got on this like Rockefeller coat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting in the pew, yo, and she's preaching. This lady's preaching, and it's hitting me. But, I don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? So it come to the end of the service where they, ask anybody, hey, you want to come up, get prayer, get saved, give your life to the Lord. Now's the time. And my heart is pounding, yo, out of my chest. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm not about to get up in front of these people, man. I'm not doing it. Like, I wanted to, but I'm not about to do this. But I feel it, though. My chest is on fire. And it's dead silent. And nobody else is getting up. You know what I'm saying? So they move on with the service. You know what I mean? And, it's ending. You know what I mean? And Then all of a sudden, the lady that was preaching, she just stops, yo, and she looks at me and she's like, "You, young man." She was like, "You came in here today anticipating for something to happen." And she proceeded to prophesy to me. You know what I'm saying? And what the Bible says about prophecy in the New Testament is that it's to be used for when unbelievers come in, that God will reveal the secrets and secrets of their heart. You know what I'm saying? So you know that God is real, because don't nobody else know. You know what I mean? You ain't tell nobody, but some random person starts telling you the secrets of your heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to me that day. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the final straw on what I needed. You know what I'm saying? To finally be like, yo, all right, God, you got me. Finally surrender, you know what I'm saying? I knew God was real. You know what I mean? Like, nobody could fake that. You know what I'm saying? And so I got up and I went up to the altar and, confessed that Jesus was my Lord. And I got saved, Joe. And I don't even know if I even really understood what that meant at the time. Like, really. Was crazy experience, man. Crazy experience, yo. I had my hands up, like my eyes closed. It felt like wind was like circling around me. I can't even explain it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I mean? I believe that's when, dispenser of faith was born, you know what I'm saying, that day. You know what I mean? And from then on, I just took a Bible with me to work everywhere, and I was just reading it on my lunch breaks. And, eventually I started getting convicted about certain things, you know what I mean? Things that I used to do, how I used to act, how I used to talk. And, I just started growing, and eventually, the music thing just kind of circled back, and I just felt like, I'm a rap for God, you know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is I thought I was the first Christian rapper ever. I thought I was the first gospel rapper on earth. That's how real it was. I had never heard of Christian rap ever in my life, ever. Performed at churches, and that just started me on my journey as a Christian rapper, going out here, spreading the gospel to people on the streets and different things, and just making mixtapes and recording freestyles. And that was a whole nother movement. But to get here to where I'm at now, like my last project that I put out, a lyrical gunplay, probably gonna make it pop up on the screen, ain't you? Yes. But yeah, my last project, lyrical gunplay, was a mixtape. And that was kind of my first solo mixtape. None of that matters to y'all. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? This is like my mixtape once I really got good at rapping and stuff like that. So at this is around the time after, Bobby Shmurda comes out with Computers, and Meek Mill is at an all-time high. I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to remember all the beats that I snatched. Who else, yo? I can't remember. I might have had a few original joints up there too that I didn't pay for, because we didn't pay for nothing back then. Because why? You snatch it, rap to it, you know what I'm saying, and put it out, and hopefully somebody listens and be like, oh, he can rap. And you know what I'm saying, go up from there. But yeah, to bring it back full circle, that was the last project I did, lyrical gunplay. And I felt like that was like the project that, if I would have been able to push it the way I wanted to, probably would have got me some recognition, or you know what I'm saying, like would have made a name for myself beyond my circle or beyond my little territory out here. moving around in the 757 or whatnot. But didn't really happen, you know what I'm saying? After that, ended up getting married, you know what I'm saying? My wife, she ended up joining the group, you know what I mean? And the group is ETE. Now, it's too many stories, bro. It's too many stories. But long story short, we here now. It's been 11 years since I've had an official project. I've always been recording since then. I just never put nothing out for real. I might have dropped something here and there on Instagram or something like that. But, you know, things changed in a way where it was like, yo, you really need to be able to sell what you're doing. And being independent, that can get pricey. It can get pricey. But we here now. And we at the point where, I got a new album that I'm putting the finishing touches on. You know what I'm saying? It's called Last Days. It's my first time saying that, announcing that. So yeah, Last Days. That's the project. 10 songs. And basically that's what I'm pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? I got other music outside of I guess the Christian rap format, you know what I'm saying, or message, you know what I'm saying? I got songs where it's just a vibe, having fun, whatever, talking about different things that I'm having fun doing, whether it be driving cars, racing, playing around, whatever, love songs, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm a big romantic, so, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot in store, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to give y'all the background on who I am, where I come from, how we got here, and run it like that. So if you're interested in seeing what comes from that person, what's being produced out, then stay in tune, stay locked in with me, and help your boy out. You know what I'm saying? Push the line with me. You know what I'm saying? We in the last days, and the same, I would say like the same youngins that when I was that age, how I had nobody musically to influence me. I just want to be that for them. You know what I'm saying? And also inspire leaders as well. So y'all holla at me. It's D Faith. Yeah.